Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Ours is a place where dreams take flight, voices are heard, and stories are shared. This is where cultures meet, connections are formed, and ideas are transformed into action. This is your destination for authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations. We're where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover our world of education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our USA Global TV channel and download our USA Global TV app. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. With heartfelt thanks to our executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, music scored by Yifei Tang from Cloud Road Music, creative direction by Paul Garcia, and I'm Al Cini, and I'm very proud to be part of the USA Global TV and Radio family. So join us here at USA Global TV and Radio. Make us your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Thank you for being a part of our global community. Let's inspire together.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to You as a Whole, Body, Mind, and Soul on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Justin Mirigliani. Great to be here with you. Today, we're going to start the new year the way we ended last year, and we're going to talk about the holidays. Now, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how the holiday season, trying to think of the title of the show. I think it was, Is it the most wonderful time of the year for everyone? And we talked about the fact that a lot of people love the holidays, and for them, it is the most wonderful time of the year. And I feel that way. I love the holidays. That's my favorite time of year. Even the lead up, November and December are my two favorite months. I really enjoy them a lot. And then we talked about, how people sometimes might not enjoy the holidays because maybe they lost a loved one, maybe they lost a loved one around the holidays, maybe it's the first year, maybe they've been through a divorce, maybe their kids can't be with them, all the different things, illness, we talked about all that. So today is kind of like a piggyback off of that. And I apologize for my voice. I'm fighting a cold here, but do the best I can. This is a piggyback because we're going to talk about how to get through that post-holiday letdown, which I think a lot of people feel. Not everybody. The people who don't feel good during the holidays are the people who look forward to the holidays being over. You'll hear them say, I got to get through the holidays. And sadly, a friend of mine, and we had him on this show, Charlie Min, great guy. He had a death in his family the day after Christmas. And one of the things he said to me this week after he lost a family member, he said that Christmas will never be good for me again. And I hope that's not true for Charlie. He's a good person, good friend. And for anybody, I wouldn't want to see them not like the holidays anymore. But to lose someone the day after Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, is it's going to be tough because you're always going to think on Christmas Day, tomorrow is the anniversary. So I could see some people wanting to get through the holidays and just get them over with. But for those of us who love the holidays, for those of us who really look forward to the holidays, the post-holiday letdown is a real thing. And for years, it really did affect me. I would be depressed in the first month of January. The first week of January, rather, going into the second week usually. And then it would take a while to get out of that funk and just try to get back to what I would call normal life. And that was tough for me. And I looked at the holidays as something to look forward to, something to be excited about. When you go outside, you see all the decorations. When you turn on the car radio, there are a lot of stations that are playing all Christmas music, all the things that make it exciting, the light shows, the things that I was able to bring my daughters to a couple weeks ago. The lead up to me is the most exciting part of it. And then, there's again a letdown. And even last week, I try to remember that Christmas is 12 days and tomorrow is the 12th day. Tomorrow is the last day. But everybody's back to work, back to school, except for college kids, of course. I remember those days. But it just has a different feeling this week than it did last week and the week before. So how do you avoid that letdown? And this year, I haven't had it as much. I really, because of all the things that I've gone through over the last year, and I won't get into everything. We've talked about that many times. Um, this year, I made it a point to say, whatever this Christmas is, it is. I'm not going to try to make it something. I'm not going to try to, oh, I want to make this a memory. I'm going to make that a memory. I'm going to make sure that this is a great moment. And I think I know that's been helpful for me. I know it's been helpful for me. I just want to see if we had a comment there. No. Okay. Oh, maybe we do. Okay. So I was just checking the comments there. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of my life I've spent trying to make moments instead of just have them happen organically. And Christmas was good this year. We had a lot of fun, my family and I, and we enjoyed it. And yeah, I don't like the fact that it's pretty much over, but we made memories that will last a lifetime, and that's good. So how do we roll into the new year? What do we look forward to now? Because if you only look forward to Christmas and the holiday season, you got a long wait now because it's just over. So you got a whole year to go. So what do you do? You know, the sadness of taking down the tree, the sadness of taking all the decorations and putting them back in the attic, the sadness of not eating on the holiday plates, eating on the regular plates, going back to work, going back to school, all those things that I talked about. And you got to find a way to find things that are exciting. So for me, I like the winter time, and I'm trying to say to myself, all right, so the holidays are over, but uh, I have a meteorology page on Facebook with a modest number of followers, about 3,500 followers, mostly from the Philadelphia area where I'm located. And I track winter storms, and it's been a lot of fun for me. That page was created by my eighth grade teacher, Eileen Vignola. And it's been a joy for me because a lot of people follow, like I said, 3,500 follow the page. And when there's a big storm, I do lives and things like that. So it makes predicting weather more fun. Instead of predicting weather and trying to come up with something, and it was just me or talking to my family and saying, hey, this is what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. Now it's to a broader audience, and that makes it more fun. And then people get involved in it. People in this area, uh, it's usually one way or another. You either love snow or you hate it in this area. Either you love the cold or you hate it. There are very rarely people who want one kind of a medium. It's usually one or the other. And most people will say, we could use one good snowstorm and then that's it. I'm done. I'm completely out. And there's Dr. Jacqueline. I believe we can find peace and happiness every day by giving gratitude for what we have. And she's asking me for my thoughts. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great point because it is important that we feel good all as much as we possibly can. I was about to say all of the time, and that's not even possible. But yeah, you have to look at the things that you have, not the gifts that you got. Not, I mean, those things are fun too, but most importantly, the people around you, the friends you have, obviously family, the health that you have. Hopefully, most people watching this are healthy. Obviously, some people are not. I've been in the position of not being healthy. I know what it's like to be sick. I know what it's like to not be able to function. And that, as bad as that is, gives you a little bit of perspective on what it's like not to have it. And when you have it, you just really enjoy it more. So I'm enjoying that. That's something to be positive about. There is, even though it's not my favorite season, the summer has some fun things in it. Going to the beach and going to different theme parks with the kids and 4th of July with the fireworks. And it's my daughter's birthday that day, my daughter Rebecca. And those are all fun things. And then we move into the fall again, and that's when we start getting ready for Halloween. And it's just a cycle. It's just a cycle. And then Dr. Jacqueline said, The greatest gift I had this season was playing make believe with my great niece. Priceless. That's it. That is the greatest gift. To be able to have family, have especially kids around at Christmas. That makes it even better. Even though my youngest daughter is 14 years old, before Christmas, we went to the mall and she did her shopping. And it was just great to see her pick out gifts from me and see what she liked, and her face lit up. And, sometimes crazy things happen that you'll never forget. And we were in the mall in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and we were in, I think it was Sephora, one of the stores where they sell makeup. And, obviously it's not my thing, but my daughter loves that stuff. So we were in that store and I'm saying, go ahead, yeah, pick out what you want. And, I'll get it for you. And all of a sudden the lights went out. The whole mall went dark and you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. And, everybody's starting to panic a little bit. And the first thought that goes through your mind is, oh my goodness, is this a shooter, active shooter? And I just said to her, let's stay calm. We don't know that that's what's happening. Let's just see what happens. And then the lights came back on and we had to evacuate the mall, and then they let us stand outside for a while. We came back in. And that's what I'm talking about, organic moments, because we laughed about it afterwards. Because during, yeah, it's a little scary. You're thinking, what's going on here? Is there a fire? Again, today, in today's world, the first thought is a shooter. I mean, and she said that. And I thought, that's a possibility. But now looking back on it, though, that was a moment. And, 10 years from now, I'm going to say, remember that time around Christmas we were in the mall and the lights went out and we had to go outside, and the wind that day, that's another thing, was whipping. It was gone. We had 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds that day. And we were outside and the wind's blowing and all this stuff is coming at us. And it was just a organically fun time with something that was out of the ordinary. That's really what it was. And it was enjoyable. But then there are going to be other things, as I said, that was before Christmas. So what do we look forward to now? Ski trips, going to the Poconos near Philadelphia. It's the closest area to Philadelphia for skiing. So go out to the Poconos, 2 hours away, and ski, or sledding, things like that. If the pond freezes over where I live, we could go out and skate on the pond and play hockey on the pond and just have fun. And then jump into a warm car and drive 30 seconds and you're back home, or walk it and you're back home. Those are things to look forward to in the winter time. Winter fun. And again, as Dr. Jacqueline said, it's up to us to look for it. It's not something that is going to magically appear. It's something that you can look forward to. And, all the things that go with that, hot tubs, how great is it to be out in a hot tub? I don't know how many people have done it, probably a lot. And I haven't done it many times, but I've been in outdoor hot tubs while it was snowing. And that's pretty cool. I mean, it really is like hot springs. Some people go to the hot springs around the world and they sit in the hot water as it's snowing on top of them. That's pretty cool. That's something neat. I might go up to the Buffalo area, maybe Watertown, New York, in the snow belt, just for a couple days, just to watch the lake effect snow. And as somebody who likes meteorology, see how that works. How I know the mechanisms for how it works, but actually experience it. Now, I did experience it one time, but it was for a short time, and we drove through it. But to actually be able to sit there and relax and but during a snowstorm, I'll have the computer on and I'm watching radar and I'm watching where the low pressure drops are and track and all that stuff, which for most people, they would say, it's pretty nerdy, or, does he have something better to do with his time? But it's fun for me. I mean, it's just like somebody wants to play tennis or somebody wants to run or play the piano or lift weights. It's the same thing. So those are the things that I look to now. Looking for new opportunities. We all have the opportunity to look for more opportunities. We all have the time to do that now. It's a new year. New Year's resolutions, I don't really believe in them. I think you can make a resolution anytime you want. I don't think it has to be January 1st. I think it could be anytime. But if you could do it for 21 days, then it becomes a habit. So most people do, the mind collapses before the body. So most people, and how many people say it's get to the gym and eat better? That's the biggest one. If you maintain it for 21 days, then you will most likely be successful. If you don't maintain it for 21 days, if you give up before that, then obviously it's going to be really, really hard to restart the engine. I'm not saying impossible. I'm not telling you that you can't, but I am saying it's harder if you stop, start, stop, start. That's consistency is really the key to all of that. But that's just another thing that you can look forward to. You could say, well, my body looks a certain way. Maybe I like it already. Maybe I don't. Maybe I want to. There are things I want better about my body. Uh, maybe I want to lose 5 pounds. Maybe I want to gain 5 pounds. Maybe I want to add more muscle. Maybe I want to shed some muscle. Whatever it is, and you could set goals for yourself. You could say, you know what, by March, which seems far away, but it's really not. By March, I want to be at my goal, or whatever it might be. So, as Dr. Jacqueline says, you have to go for it, if you will. Some of the other things that I'm looking forward to is finding a different job. Last year, as I've talked about on the show many times, my business is not where it was before. It's a changing world, and corporate training is not at the level that it was before. And there's not anything anybody can do about it. It's just the nature of the fact that we have artificial intelligence and we have ways for people to do things without having to rely on other people to teach them. There are pluses and minuses to this. We had a show about that, and I will have one in the future because I've gotten more into artificial intelligence over the last 2 months, and um, yeah, there are pluses and minuses. And one of the minuses for me was that my business of training people on computers just barely exists anymore. And I can tell you, I'm not the only company doing it because I've talked to other people who run companies for corporate training, and they all say the same thing, that the computer training is virtually wiped out. And that's unfortunate because this was my 25th year. But again, trying not to be in a funk after the holidays. What am I looking forward to? The possibility of working for a big company. Taking the skills that I have and all the things I've done in 25 years of running a business and 14 years of running, I'm sorry, 12 years of running a charity, and seeing what opportunities are out there for me. What salary can I make? I underestimated myself. I thought my salary that I was ballparking for my skills was a lot lower than what I found it to be. Now, how did I find that out? Through AI. So in some ways, I got burned by AI because it cost me my business, or seemingly has cost me my business. I don't know if I can revive it or not. But at the same time, it let me know what my true worth is monetarily. Now, it has nothing to do with your true worth, whether you make $20,000 a year or $200,000 a year. That's not your personal worth. But what skills do you have that are marketable that make you somebody who stands out to a large company? And I didn't really know how skilled I was. And I'm not saying that in a conceited way. I'm saying that in a shocked way, that I didn't realize that the skills that I had from doing the business translated so well to corporate America. And hey, look, there's something to be said for being your own boss, and there's something to be said for being somebody who works for somebody else and puts in a hard day's work. Leaders can also be followers. Followers can be leaders. You don't have to be one or the other. You can be both, and that's what I'm looking for. So, what is it in your life that you're looking for? What is it that you want to do in 2026 to get you out of, if you are in the holiday funk, if you're feeling like, oh man, it was so fun. The eating, that's another thing, the eating of the food, right? All the great food that you have at the holidays, starting from Thanksgiving, starting from Halloween, really, go to candy if you like candy. I like candy. And a lot of people like candy. So yeah, I mean that's when the food starts. You start eating around Halloween, and then all of a sudden it's Thanksgiving, and then it's turkey and stuffing for most people, and I forget how many holidays we have in December, but it's obviously Christmas and Hanukkah are not the only two. There's Kwanzaa. There are many, many others. And a lot of people celebrate all different holidays, and food is a huge part of it. So you're eating great food, foods that you wouldn't normally eat. And then you go back to Meatloaf Monday and Spaghetti Sunday and the normal food that you eat because now you're back to work. You don't have time to cook a turkey. You don't have time to eat a turkey. You're not gonna have enough people over to finish the turkey. You know, all those things, gathering together. It doesn't happen as much during the year. So yeah, I mean, you can see why people look and say, "Wow, last week was so much fun," or and 2 weeks ago was even better because it was kind of leading up into it. Family flies in. My brother flew in from California. That was great. Now he left. Disappointing, depressing, but you know that there's going to be another time. You look forward to the next event that we're going to have. The next, to me, Christmas time and December, so not just Christmas time, but holiday time is the most peaceful time of year. It's a time of year that you can relax a little bit, where you can take a deep breath. And if you don't get things done, it's okay. You're not in a rush. If you miss in checking email for 3 or 4 days, so what? It's the holidays. If you miss phone calls during the holidays, so what? It's not a big deal. But then obviously you have to get back and get going. And that again can be difficult. But why not have get-togethers? Does it have to be the holidays to get people together over your house and have some light food and drinks? Doesn't even have to be alcoholic drinks, or can be, but whatever you want. I don't drink, but um, I don't have anything against it. I did drink before, medication and health wise. I don't now, but get people together, and even if you go out for or go to somebody's house and you have some chips and dip and crudité and that type of thing, and just talk about life, what's going on. Go to comedy clubs, go out, go to not necessarily bars, but bars could be fine, but maybe some hot spots in the city or outside the city, depending on where you are. I'm in Philadelphia. So for me, it would be Center City, Philadelphia. If you're in New York, Manhattan obviously has no shortage of great places to go to socialize. If you're single, there are places to go. You have the prospects of meeting somebody who might be a significant other, if that's what you want. All these things don't have to happen at Christmas. All these things can happen in any month, any day of the year. And if we keep that in mind, maybe the letdown won't be so much. The other thing I think is important to note is just because you are aware of the letdown and you're trying not to have it, it's okay to have moments where you feel it. So when I saw the table yesterday with ornaments sitting on it off of the tree and the tree bare, yeah, I mean, it hit me a little bit. I was thinking, this is a little disappointing. It's a little bit of a letdown. But I had to keep reminding myself that there are other things. Like for me, next week the Eagles play in the playoffs. Philadelphia Eagles, the football team in Philadelphia. It's a playoff game. That's exciting. Something to look forward to. We could get people together for that. It's a bonding experience, just like the holidays are. Maybe if they win, they go on to the next round. You have another party. If they go to, like last year, they won the Super Bowl. We got to experience that. Go to the parade afterwards. Then we got to experience that. What if they lose? All right, if they lose, there are other reasons to get together. It doesn't have to be a specific reason either. It could be anything. When I was a kid, I would think about only the fun of the holidays. And I remember the song where the lyrics are, "Through the years, we all will be together if the fates allow." I never listened to "If the Fates Allow" part when I was a kid. Through the years, we all will be together. And it seemed like, sure, that's exactly how it works. Because when you're a kid, unless something happens tragically, most of the time, everybody who was there is still there. They're young enough to have many more Christmases to go. So I always thought about, yeah, of course, through the years we all will be together. And then it's, after you lose a grandparent and another grandparent and another grandparent and cousins and things like that, you start to realize the second part of that, if the fates allow. And that can be hard to accept. That can be difficult because you don't know every Christmas who's going to be there next year. And that obviously is one of the things that brought me down. Like, well, what if playing the what if game? What if this was the last Christmas with so and so? Or what if this was my last Christmas? Or whatever the case may be. What if there's a big tragedy in the middle of the year? All the things that you could project that could cause you to spiral. And this year, I'm not letting it happen. I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to say, hey, listen, next year, I'm going to go back to the way I was as a kid. We're all going to be together. And if the fates don't allow, we'll tackle it some way. We'll get through it. Like I said, Charlie's mom passed away. Charlie Min, good friend of mine, and we've had him again on the show. He directed the Pelly Lindbergh movie, The Suite of Philadelphia. And it was the day after Christmas. And Charlie said, Christmas will never be the same for me. It will never be the same. And I said to Charlie, no, not this Christmas or any other Christmas. It won't be the same, but they'll get easier as time goes on if you allow it, if you allow the time to heal. And then eventually you can incorporate your mother's memory into the holidays. It's hard when you lose somebody right after Christmas or right before Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, because it's a stain that is on that holiday that every time it comes around, you have to worry about, oh, how am I going to remember them? And it probably will take a few times for it to circle around before you can finally say, okay, now I can enjoy it again, have moments of sadness, but not have weeks and days and weeks of sadness. And I think that's possible. I know it's possible after some time. It seems when you're in the middle of these things that there's no way you're going to get out of it. I mean, a year ago from today to today, the difference between where I am is night and day. Last year at this time, just trying to keep my head above water, trying to swim, and it felt like there were bricks attached to my legs, and I just kept going under and going under and going under, and I get a quick gasp of air and then go under and feel like I'm dying. I'm drowning here. Whereas this year, I don't feel heaviness. I don't feel despair. Do I still have problems? Yeah. The holidays, do they give you a reprieve from your problems? Sure. Because you can put them away for a while. You can put them in a closet. And you can say, you know what? It's the holidays. I'll worry about that in January. Well, now here's January. They didn't go away. So it's not Pollyanna. It's not saying, well, just pretend your problems don't exist. But it's the way that you look at it. Last year I looked at it like I'm losing my business. I'm losing my marriage. I'm losing everything, losing my charity. And this year I'm looking at it like, yeah, you know what? The business might be done, but I'll wind up with a job that might even net me more money. And I found out what I really match up to, what I'm good at, what I might not be so good at, maybe I have to work on. That can be exciting too, trying to find things that you need to improve on instead of just working on the things you like. When I'm in the gym, one of the things that we always talk about, people who go to the gym a lot say, you have to do, and Mike Tyson said this actually, it's his quote, but do the exercises you hate like you like them the best or the most. I'm paraphrasing, but that was his thing. So if you hate to curl, do it like it's your favorite exercise. Curl like it's your favorite thing to do. Most people couldn't care less about their legs when they go to the gym. They go to the gym, they work on their chest, their shoulders, their biceps. That's it. They don't do any work on the legs. Maybe midsection, maybe work the belly a little bit. But legs, it's a running joke in the gym where you have usually huge men who look like they're going to topple over because they got a gigantic upper body and they're the little thin legs because they just don't care about legs. It's like, nah, it's more impressive when you're wearing a shirt and you see that thick muscle mass. Yeah, but you know what? It's an incomplete body at that point. It doesn't look right. It just is weird or strange. So you gotta do it as a unit, right? I mean, that's important. Symmetry is important. So, let's see if we get another comment. Bird legs. Yes, that's another term that we use, Dr. Jack. She put it up, bird legs. Yeah, I mean that's is a big deal in the gym. That's important. I'll tell you right now, and we'll get into exercising on another show. But the biggest muscles in your body are your legs, your quadriceps. That's where the biggest muscle is. So if you don't work that, you're leaving a lot off the plate. So you got to get the legs going. But that's what I'm talking about. But it's not just the gym. It could be anything. It could be, I want to be better at AI. I'm working like crazy to try to get better at AI. It's becoming addicting. I mean, I'm on it constantly now, asking questions, trying to break it, putting things in that are ridiculous and seeing what it tells me, putting in things that I know are wrong to find out if AI figures it out, asking questions that are personal questions. Yesterday, I asked AI, I said, the Eagles game is on, it's halftime. Should I go out and eat? Which is a decision that I thought it would say, well, that's up to you. You decide. But what did it do? It broke down the pros and the cons for me. And it said, well, if you go now, you could probably get back in time to see the second half. What's the score? I told it 10-7. It was a close game. It said, yeah, maybe you want to go after the game. How hungry are you? All these different things that are really cool. And I spent most of the second half of the football game, because it was a pretty boring game, asking questions of AI just to learn more about it. Not necessarily to get answers, but to learn more and more and more. It's something that will benefit me in the future and can benefit so many other people. Now, I'm not saying that we should rely on it totally for everything. And that's another show. We talked about AI probably in September and the pros and the cons. I still have the same excitement and the same fear. It doesn't change anything. But what choice do I have? Do I pretend that it doesn't exist and just try to go on with my life the way it was? Can you go on with life without the internet? Can anybody now? Can you go through life without a cell phone now? No, you can't, because that's the world we live in. It is. It's not a question of whether you want to adapt. Either you adapt or you don't. But if you don't, you get left behind. That's just the way it is. But that, again, gets you through that post-Christmas, post-holiday funk, because it's something that can be exciting, something that you can look forward to. And next year, there will be another holiday season. Yeah, maybe there's something you did this year that was a new tradition, or not a new, it wouldn't be a tradition if it's new, but that you want to make a tradition. So maybe there was a new place that you went, or maybe there was a restaurant that you went to the week of between Christmas and New Year's, or maybe, I don't know, you had a certain meal that you cooked and you said, you know what, I want to do this every year. You read a certain book, or maybe you read the Bible or whatever it was, and had a fire going, and maybe you never have done that before. Do it next year. Make it a tradition, and you can build on it. You might say, well, all right, we did this, and now I'm going to add, more decorations to the house, or we're going to go out. Maybe, I don't know, a lot of people on Christmas Eve will go to midnight mass and then stay up until dawn. Some people don't. Some people go to bed. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's neat to be up all night Christmas Eve and then take a nap in Christmas Day and be together with family and friends. I think that's really cool. My grandfather did that in the 20s and 30s. So that was something that was a big part of his growing up. They played cards and they drank, whiskey or soda or whatever, but they enjoyed themselves. They ate. They'd take a little nap. They'd wake up. They'd eat again. I mean, these are just really cool things, and I wish we would get back to some of these traditions. When I was in college, Christmas Eve was hockey night. And my college buddies and I and my brother, we would go to my high school, which had a really big parking lot, and we bring all the hockey gear and nets, and we had goalies, and we would play hockey from, I don't know, maybe 11 o'clock at night until 4 o'clock in the morning, just having a great time, freezing cold, but not caring, skating around with obviously rollerblades. We didn't have ice there, but we were on our hockey rollerblades and just playing and having a good time and thinking about Christmas and thinking about how great it was to be young and to have, college is a great time where you have the best of both worlds. You're still a kid, but you're also an adult. So you kind of get to balance that at the same time. So you get to do things that you never got to do before, like stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning. And you don't have to worry about things like preparing for Christmas, buying gifts for people, especially for your children, being Santa Claus, and all the things that come with that. That's a magic spot right there. So that was a tradition for a long time. Now we can't do that anymore because not age. I mean, everybody who did that is still able to play, but not everybody's in the same area anymore. My brother's in California. My best friend's in California as well. People have their own lives, they have families. They can't just say, hey, you know what, I'm going to take off, until 4 o'clock in the morning and play hockey. But you know what? One day I look forward to that happening. Maybe we'll have a reunion game on Christmas Eve, 2035 or whatever it is, when we're uh, in our 60s. Why not? Why not? I look forward to the possibility of having an old fashioned Christmas. I know I sound like Chevy Chase here, but good old fashioned family Christmas, renting out a cottage in, I don't know, upstate New York or uh, in the mountains in Austria or somewhere where there's a ton of snow and it's beautiful and it's quiet and you can have a fire going in a log cabin. All those things. I dream about these things. I think about these things. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but in my mind, I'm hoping it'll happen. I'm not that's again, get you over the Christmas funk. It's like, well, you know what? We didn't get a chance to do that this year. So maybe that's coming in 2 years or whatever. If you ever watched the video Last Christmas, the Wham song, George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley, from I guess it was '85, and you see the great party that they had with the great food and the beautiful house and snow up to their thighs and they're skiing and all those great things. And I think, man, that is just a perfect Christmas. And why can't that happen? It didn't happen yet for me, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. So don't do what I did for most of my life. I think I tell you that pretty much every show because I've learned a lot from adversity, from things that weren't going really well, things that were tough, things that were hard. But don't make the mistake that I made that you try to make memories, just let them happen because you can't make them. It's just going to happen or it's not. It's got to be organic. It doesn't count. You won't feel the same if it's not organic. And two, don't look back and say, well, 2 weeks ago, this is what I was doing. 2 weeks later, now I'm sitting at my desk at work and, I wish it was 2 weeks ago. And then next week, 3 weeks ago, I did that. I would look at the calendar and just count back. Oh, only 3 weeks ago. It's so close. Only 4 weeks ago. It's only so close. What good did that serve? Yeah, how did that help me? It kept me stuck in sadness and in the letdown feeling and the emptiness. And I'm just not going to do it this year. This year on New Year's Day. New Year's Day for me used to be really depressing. I used to be down knowing that everything's coming to an end. And this year, no. We were in the car, myself and my two daughters, and we were listening to 80s music, and they love the 80s music. And I'm an 80s kid, so I love it too. And we just had a great time in the car. And it was like, all right, the holidays are over, but look at what we still can do. We could listen to music together. I bought my oldest daughter a book about the music in the 80s, and it tells the story behind all of the, not all of the songs, obviously, but a lot of the hits from the 80s and how they were created and how they came to be and what obstacles had to be overcome to make the music. That could go on all year. That's not something that ends January 1st. So just looking at the time as we wrap up the show, I just want to thank everybody. I hope you had a great holiday season, but more importantly, I hope you have a great rest of the year. So don't just pin everything on the holidays. Have a great rest of the year. We are going to be starting a show very soon on nostalgia and sports. So we're going to talk about old time sports, and we're coming up with a name for it and a logo. If anybody out there listening wants to chime in and let us know what you think is a good name and a good logo, that'd be really great. So for me, I'm going to sign off for this week. I hope to see you next week right back here. Thank you, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting. We're building bridges and changing lives, one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.